Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yo, what up? Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. It's your boy, the Imperfect Gentleman again. This is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, Kings, what up, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
Right back at it.
Y'all remember that gone in 60 seconds?
Right back at it.
Some boys is ready to go. Yeah, the
Turned up, ready to go.
Family.
What's
Yeah,
happening?
D, what up, man? You over there in the cut? You making sure the kids is locked up again, bro?
Oh yeah, they're not picking a lock this week.
Okay.
Yeah, they picked a lock on the door last week. I had to get that shit in check.
Oh, you had to fortify the fort?
You already know. And this time, no water.
Dang, that's crazy.
I'm telling you, these people gonna come pulling up by his door at some point.
They're gonna
Yeah,
come
we
knock
coming
like,
live
man.
and direct with another Imperfect Fathers torture tactic.
Real rap.
Yo, listen, before we get started, man, do us a favor, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, man.
go.
Come on. Stop playing. I'm gonna put a graphic up. It's 97% of people who are watching this podcast who have not subscribed. 97%. Come on, y'all. Hit that little button for us. Stop playing out there.
They doing us like that? That's crazy.
Help our algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got
Word.
good content, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
Use
like
a
the
little digital
content,
currency, baby.
y'all like us, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a little like. That don't cost you nothing.
That's it. You know.
Hit that little button on the side.
Little
We
click.
love it.
Yeah, did.
That's all we need out there in the streets. But listen, y'all, around here, y'all know we got certain things we gotta take care of, protocol, and that's one of them. So don't front on us. Hit that subscribe
Right.
button. But around here we gotta talk to the Father and pay the bills. So with that being said, gracious and eternal Father, we thank you for another week. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for our family. Thank you for our situations that we're in currently, oh God, good, bad, or indifferent, because we know it all works together for the good of the one that love you. So right now, we say we love and appreciate you. Right now, we ask you as we go across the airways to look over us. So we may say something that may help somebody in a special way, oh God. These are our prayers. That's what we do. We ask you right now to do it because you're the only one that can. And the message of the Most High. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. Okay.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
that's how we gonna start it off.
Word. right after the prayer? What
You
church
guys-
is this?
For real.
I've been
Oh,
known. I'm trying to tell
man.
you. I've been known.
Yo, listen, that was a great
A couple
segue
of looks.
paying the bills around here. So listen, if you want some of that music playing that you just been hearing, and even more at a higher level, higher quality, yo, listen, it's over at It's Now and Never Entertainment. Yo, check them out. All your music needs, whether it be hip hop, gospel, R&B, back that thing up as you just heard. If you didn't know what that track was, listen, for all your music needs, holla at them, man. Listen, if you go over there and you use the word imperfect at the checkout, you get 50% off, man. 50, half off on any beat in the beat store. Come on, man. Where else you can get a half discount like that at? But listen, be smart, shop black, shop It's Now and Never Entertainment. Let them know that Perfect Father sent you. Now, other paid sponsors of the Beautiful Podcast, check this out. Cassie's Classic Designs for all your print needs. Nobody has a shirt on right now currently. We living our lives right now. Don't
This is
sue
a
us.
whole fact.
Check
Shout
this
out to the champ though.
We got signs behind me. We got cups behind me that is produced by Cassie's Classic Design. So for all your print needs, whether it be cups, hats, t-shirts, drawers, socks, you name it, she can print on it. Holla at it, Cassie's Classic Design at gmail.com. Yo, fellas, what we talking about today, man?
Man.
Lord, something we can go on for days about. We can make this a whole weekly part 4, 5, 6.
Oh my goodness.
Exclusively do this right here.
This one is deep, huh? This one has a deep bottom, huh?
Man,
One of
what?
them. Now
What?
they say this one of them.
Mental capacity.
Mm.
And then I want to put a little parentheses in there and put accountability in parentheses on the side of that. But yeah, this one is
Sound a little spicy on that one.
yeah, I know a lot of people got a problem with this one, including myself. Sometimes it can get hectic, and it can get a little crazy with making decisions on your own and really not being influenced by other people, and it can get a little sticky. But yeah, mental capacity, man, it's a big one for a lot of people. I know it is.
Yeah, so let me give the people a little quick little backstory, little back context on it. So my mother married my stepfather, right, when I was about 7 years old. So like I met him around the age, and what I thought a father would be or could be, I had this imaginary thought process of what, and when he came about, he didn't fit that imaginary thought process I had of a father. So I held it against him for mad long, to be honest. Like I held it against him for years. And before my grandmother passed away, she said a few things to me, and one of the last things she said to me was, "Baby, you can't judge somebody based upon their capacity." And I never understood what she was talking about, right? So she even broke it down to who she was talking about. She was like, "Yo, your stepfather was put in a position that he didn't know how to even handle. So you can't judge him for the fact that he wasn't what you wanted him to be to you. He just couldn't." So even when she told me that, I was in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I didn't get it. And it wasn't until me and him had a conversation just recently. And it was more so of the conversation for me to make peace with my own spirit. I was going through the space and time where I was cleansing, just going back through my past, letting go of the past traumas and either releasing or resolving the issues in my life. And obviously my stepfather was one of them. So one day I made the call. I was like, "Yo, I need to talk to you." And I know this may sound crazy, but if you ever watch this pop, like understand, like this is the truth. Um, we sat on the phone, and I was just like, I poured my heart out. You understand what I'm saying? Like to an individual that I closed out yonder years ago. So imagine how, as us men, what that took. So I sat there and I basically told him like, "Yo, I apologize for our incidents that we had, for the things that I caused, some things I said to you. I just wanted X, Y, Z and the father," and I just basically poured out everything I was feeling. His final words to me after I said everything was, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "Oh, I get it now. I get it now." Because what I want from him, he doesn't have the ability to give. It's not like he doesn't want to, because if he didn't want to, he wouldn't even be on the phone. You understand? Like
Right.
he didn't
You just don't know
have.
how.
He don't know how. He don't have
You
the
don't know
what?
how.
The
Capacity.
capacity, right? Now, if we could break it down even further for somebody who doesn't understand the concept. So, as Dave said in the green room, it's like taking a liter bowl, right? A bowl that only fits a liter of water in. So, the capacity of that bowl is a liter.
Right.
If you take a gallon of water and you pour that gallon of water into that bowl, it's only going to hold a liter.
I mean,
Once you
nothing
go
more. And it's
one
gonna
ounce over a liter, you have done what? You have
overflowed
maxed
and
out the
got messy.
capacity of that bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bowl's fault that it can't hold a gallon of water.
That's just how it was made.
So
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
now,
preaching now, Doc.
Word. Word.
You preaching, Doc. Come on with it.
but na-
Word.
yeah, make sure you hit that cash out with the collection plate. I'm a
Just tie
2022
things
preacher. You
in.
hear me?
You lost half the audience, bro.
Prosperity, like
Right. Let's get it. I need it. I need a boat. But but yo, for real though, like, and then we got to ask ourselves when we're sitting there with that gallon and we pour it into that liter, and we're getting mad at that bowl for not being able to hold what we're trying to give it. Who's the dummy at that point? Like who's really bugging? The
Me,
person or the
'cause I
object that
keep
can't
trying to put.
withhold it because of how it's made, or the person who can obviously see that this object or person doesn't have the capacity.
Right. And that's why I put accountability in parentheses, because at some point he has to let you know, like, yo, you hitting a brick wall right now. I don't know what you talking about. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just can't understand you right now. Like, he has to at some point, or the person has to let you know, yo, you need to go somebody else with this, because I don't, my mental ain't even
That's
there.
what you at that point. That's us playing God, because that's between them and God. Because I can't make your capacity greater, and you don't know what you don't know either. B, like,
Right.
he don't. My stepfather right now, like, real rap. If he was listening to the podcast, it probably would be a light would probably go off, because we're talking about this in depth right now. But he
Right.
doesn't know what he doesn't know, bro. Like, and this was so crazy about this man. Yo, he can read a thesis report to you backward and forward and tell you verbatimly what it says, in depthly what it means. But when it comes to interaction between human beings, bro, it's like he's short circuit. There's something missing
It's a
there.
different skill set. It's an absolutely different skill set.
Right.
I worked with the dude, and I won't mention his name or whatever, but I worked with this dude, very smart dude, but street smart he was not.
Right.
Not even a little bit. Like, we worked at the corner store, and his dad owned the corner store, so he probably know it now. But shout out to my nigga Holly. But his dad owned the corner store. But
Shout
bro,
out, my
when I
dude.
tell you, you know what I'm saying. But nah, real cool dude, love the man. But he would just do some of the most craziest things to people he just didn't know. Like, it was like, bro, what are you doing? You grown as hell. This man don't know you. Why the hell is you just like tossing stuff? Like, ran up behind somebody and put a paper bag behind him. Dude, you don't know this nigga, bro. What are you
Yeah, that's
doing?
crazy.
Wow. Yo,
This
wow.
dude turned around and, bro. But the crazy thing is, like, he thought it was all funny and it was all fun and games. He had no street smarts. He didn't have to. His dad owned this corner store and they was making rolling in bread, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't need it. His dad had all the street smarts. His
Right.
dad grew up in this neighborhood. He knew exactly who was what. He could look at somebody and be like, "Uh-oh, trouble." You know what I'm saying? Like, how we all have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this for him, he just did not have it. But book smart, wouldn't believe it, out this world. But he just simply didn't have the street smarts, and we couldn't. And we all understood that. We was like, "Yo, please, bro, it's good, bro. He just don't know." Like, now, it's been many a days we had to tell people, like, bro. And there's been other days where people
Right.
buck and
Chill
we
out.
had to buck too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, he home team at the end of the day.
You
know
over
what
there,
I'm saying?
like, yo, fam,
Yo,
you with me,
please, bro.
Chill out.
My bad.
Back.
You with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And then there's
basically,
been
his
times,
capacity was just short.
What you say, D?
and there's times where like I think like Jerv thinks too. It's like sometimes like, yo, where's the accountability in that? And I think that me trying to hold someone with no capacity accountable made me real messy. And that's just like me trying to throw the gallon of water in the half-gallon bowl, and I'm getting mad that the water's spilling everywhere.
Yeah.
And I keep realizing that I've had to deal with someone for all my life that basically I was always expecting, like, you the grown up. When are you going to hold yourself accountable? But, you know, those things also like mental health is a big part of it too, because I've seen someone psychologically create a delusional world for themselves and completely justify the lack of or the nonsense that they do.
Right.
And literally
Fear they
live their
conscience.
life like it's okay, and literally live their life like they were saints. And it's just like I see them tell these stories, and I'm like, that's the way you saw it. That's your recollection of events. And you know, and it's
What
crazy
world
because
were
in
you
my
in?
example, and in my example, it happens to be my mother. Like, for me, that's something that's tough because, you know, now dealing at an older age, you know, I was a child, and I kept trying to tell people that there's something wrong with this lady. There's something wrong with her, and she managed to she managed to cover up her the she managed to put fluff around the meter that we call capacity, so nobody would look at it and say like, "Oh, she's not
Hide it.
capable."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy,
It's
because I look
chameleon.
at it now. Yeah, and it's crazy, and it's like now I look at it and I'm like, I know why people, when they said something to her, they just left her alone, and now I know why people didn't come back. Now I see that part of my life, and I'm just like, yeah, because when you see something that's that distorted, I mean, it's like your closing statement, get the people from around you,
Let me ask you something though.
and now
I was gonna say, let me ask you, did you have a name for it back then?
what's that?
Like, for your mom's, like her behavior, besides calling it crazy, did you have a name for it?
Not really, because it's not something you don't go around telling
Yeah.
people, yo, I think there's really something wrong with my mom. That's not
Right.
something you really say to people.
Yeah.
Like how you look telling like, yo, and then you think the people closer to you, like them, but them people been like kind of corrupted with her whole, now with her game, with like with the spill. Like, you know what I mean? She got this thing to show you that like she's capable, but she's not capable. And then like with the minute you try to question, like, yo, are you sure you understand what we're talking about? Oh, of course I do. I'm a professional. I've been doing stuff like this all my life.
But hold on, but check this out.
Right.
So I'm glad we're doing this right now, because this is a perfect opportunity for us to take a step on the other side, right? So, if being that we're talking about moms, let's deal with it. So, if her capacity is at a certain level, right, and she knows this, right, we all know our capacity. Let's be honest. Within everybody, you know how far you basically what you do mentally, and then like if you're in tune with yourself emotionally as well too. But let's just go for
I don't
for the
think people can actually gauge that. I think some people
Yeah,
think
I don't
they
think
can
so
do heart
either.
surgery. There's some
Yeah.
people that think that they could do heart surgery, and you can't tell them no different. And you like, yo, dude, for real,
but
you
listen,
really think?
but
He was like, bro,
no,
I could like.
it's their thinking. But let's talk about actuality, because there's tests to test your capacity in that level as well. So if we're talking
And
about
there's people that are
delusional,
willing to take that test.
right, and then the test results will come back that they're delusional. Like, so we're not worried about those far going. I'm talking about like as per Mom Dukes, right? So I look at it like this: for a woman that was in business, right, and she was fully functional in the world of business. We gotta call it what it is. For a woman that's that understanding and has a capacity like my stepfather, there's a defense mechanism that has to come up, because
Yes,
it has to.
That's what I'm saying.
Human nature says, if I'm
Wait a
lacking in
minute.
this area and they're gonna attack this, I gotta defend this.
Right.
So how do you defend something, even as a kid on a basketball court? Think about this: when you playing a 2K for a video game, if somebody's busting you in a game, and you know you got the upper hand outside, let's go outside and hoop for real. Then so you're always gonna use what you know that you have in your holster to defend yourself with.
Right.
no, but at the same time, with that said, it becomes a tricky slope though, because like, okay, I get what you're saying, because to me, I've been thinking about this all the time. I'm like, yo, how you went and got a master's degree? And I sit there and I think about it, and I seen the way she networked that thing. Dog, I remember when she was teaching, and she was going to get that psychology degree. Dog, my mom was so smart. Like she knew how to delegate. So what she would do is she got the young intern teachers to write her papers for her. And I was like, yo, that's what Mr. Tuttle was doing at the crib. I was like, oh, that's what Miss Smith was doing. And they had to come and intern in her class, and my mom was kind of giving them the game that they needed to know to be a school teacher. And in return, it was like,
Get this paper.
and my mom's been really, so it was like my mom was able to cover up her weakness by networking. But then the thing is that now when the people expose the network, you find a way to move them out the way. And it's like some people you can't do that to, like your son, your kids. You can't, like if they're trying to show you like, hey, look, you're weak here. You can't just shift us out and then just come and slap us and bring us in whenever you want. So
Nah.
I see it, but then at a point in time, it's like it becomes like a real problem because the behavior persists. Like, and it's just like, yo, you don't really know what you're doing. Like, yo, easy.
But now look,
and that just
now that you see that, now you see the size of the bowl though. Like this one goes back to our capacity of what we understand now, right? Because we're in a space where we're the leaders now. Like we're the leaders of each one of our families right now. There are lives that are dependable on our breathing. So our awareness, our capacity to see this is what's important too. Because how many frustrating days did you have before you even had the enlightenment?
Bro, yo, and let me tell you how hard it is. Even with the enlightenment, this shit is hard.
Till this day, like
it is.
Even with the enlightenment, it's hard to take it. But it's like you said, it's like you kind of just gotta work on it. And I think this is something that Brother Jerv talks to me all the time. You're not gonna get through this on your own.
Word.
And Jerv always tells me, bro, you gotta grab that book and have that conversation with him. Because I'm seeing that every day that like it's like I could kind of relate with what you said, Doc, about having that expectation about your pops. And it's like that's not what I needed you to be. And it's like and that pain, that idea of like, man, you should have just let somebody help you is like the part that's hard to let go of. Yeah. But then now I know the capacity, and actually understanding that the bowl just wasn't as big as I thought it was is actually helping. But even when you start realizing that, the shit's still kind of hard when the same thought process goes on with the person. But it's just, I guess that's just part of growing, part of growing, just understanding and learning how to cope with what you really can't change. Because that's another thing too.
Because you're not God.
Understanding that you're not gonna change something,
right?
But it's gonna be something you have to deal with, and that is a whole nother.
I was gonna say it's a hard situation because if you really think about it, especially as a son, whether it be a dad or a father, or a mother, as a son, you're looking up to this person, and you're really thinking, okay, this is my hero. This is my shiro. This is my everything, pretty much. Right. And for you to realize that this person, and really, at what age do we realize that this person is only human themselves?
Right.
And they have shortcomings, and they fall short, and they have their own journeys. They have to bear their own cross. And at what point? And I think this is where you're kind of getting to around this time now. And it's probably going to take some time to even get fully there, but you got to love with grace.
Yeah,
it's something definitely. That you have to lead with grace, bro.
Especially mom and dad, man.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell you, like, because at the end of the day, we love from what we could see. We love from what we can feel. We love, because they are who they are. But at what point do we love beyond who they are?
Right. That's the tough thing. And I'm like, at what point does a person know that, yo, I'm really lacking in understanding right now? Like, it has to be a point where a person's like, yo, I need to level up. Like, I need to stop being stagnant and I need to continue on with this thing. Like, and that's why I stress the accountability part, because nobody can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. Like, and they have words for that. It's called arrested development. Like, when a person is just so stuck, their body ages well, but their mind is just so stuck because the accountability. Sometimes it's hard for a person to do it, but other times it's just real. I guess it's just laziness on a person. And I'm glad that I grew up the way I grew up, because the people with the most accountability, believe it or not, growing up was the people in the hood. Folks will tell you, yo, I don't know how to do that. Go, you know what I mean? I don't, like, they'll let you know, yo, I Like, go ahead. I don't know what you talking about, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Here's the
They
thing,
have to
Jerry.
let you know straight up. Like,
Right,
I don't
real
know what
rap.
you're talking about. That ain't my. But it's
That
like
ain't
the
what I
more,
do.
yeah, like it's the more I guess it's the more you get older, the more hardened I guess you get as to who you are. Like you start to not think that it's levels that you can still
Stuck in
climb.
your way.
It's
Nah,
ways
but
that you
but
can still
that's
get
Old
and
dog,
better.
that's
new
one thing.
trick.
That's the one thing
But
I
here,
refuse to. I refuse to let any myself, my household, anybody around me start had that mindset. Once you lock into that, you're a dead person walking.
That's
yeah,
what I
here,
told Dave
here,
earlier. You're dead.
You're a
Anything
dead
not
person
moving is
walking.
dead.
Yeah, like
here's the thing though too. Like we gotta be so very careful. We growing up in the age that we are growing up in, and coming up and being around the people that we have the, I mean, God's true fortune that He allowed us and He blessed us to be part of this, or have the actual vocabulary to say, okay, this I'm realizing this is what it is, and this is where we need to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, or this is where I want to go. But I heard Kevin Hart say it once. He's like, somebody told him once that whatever age you got trauma or untreated trauma, that's the age you're stuck at
Mm.
until you deal with that trauma. So it's a lot of grown 3-year-olds. It's a lot of grown 4-year-olds. It's a
mm,
lot of grown 9-year-olds because they never dealt with with that trauma, and now that
So they got
trauma is
stunted
where they're
right at
stuck
that point.
right at that point.
Yep.
So that's where the grace really comes in. And if we're gonna do this like the book says, we have to love. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know we have to love beyond that. Like,
and
Yeah.
we really
honestly,
do.
the I'm so glad you said that, KB, because once I understood in that moment with the conversation with my father, once I saw it for what it was in that moment, I was able to love him because
Right.
the expectation was snatched away, right? The
That's
unrealistic
good.
expectation, because in
That's
all
good.
actuality, it's unrealistic for him to be able to emote what I want him to give me. He doesn't have the
Mm,
capacity for it. So here I am, like I'm angry with him because he don't have the capacity.
man,
Right.
that's so good in terms of the expectation part. I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was dealing with this dude, and she was basically saying, "Oh, I sent him a text, and I'm expecting this from him, and
Mm,
or I'm expecting that from him, and I don't get it." And and she was like, it makes me mad. I was like, you can't be mad at that because you're sending him something expecting something. Like, if you want to send him something, send it with no expectation.
Right.
right.
And once you get whatever he gets back, you would never be mad at it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you're expecting him to say, "Oh, I sent them a picture of my family for per se," and you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you expect him to be like, "Oh, that's cute. Who's this? Who's that? Who's that?" You're trying to build up the conversation to that point, but you don't know probably sending him that picture and he's seeing your family, what his family looked like. Maybe he don't have pictures of his family, so he can't go there with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not
Yeah.
saying that was the case, but you once you're gonna set yourself up every time you do something and you have a set expectation for that.
Exactly. So, do we expect too much out of people as a whole? In general, do we expect too
That's
much out
that's a
of
very
people?
dangerous statement. That's a
Very.
very dangerous
Mm.
statement because
Because
of
why
the
else?
ears
Fine
listening.
line.
Because only
It's a fine
because of
line.
there are not honest ears listening. Because if there were only honest ears listening, then I can say yes, right?
Right.
But being that there are dishonest ears thank you, baby girl, that are listening as well. You can't say that.
Mhm.
That's a very dangerous statement because then we throw an accountability out for the ones who feel like accountability is nonsense.
Right. Okay.
Here's the
So
thing,
we
like
have to be hard on people. To be honest, we have to. In the world we live in, we have no other choice.
I
Yeah.
think you could expect things from someone if you outlined everything that you said that you want and say that this is your desired outcome, and then you give it to them and say, "Hey, can you fulfill it?" And they sign on the dotted line and say, "Yes, I can." You could then expect something from someone. But if at the end of the day you've never set those boundaries and say,
Right.
hey, this is what I need, this is what I want, and if you can't do that for me, then we might as well part ways from now. Then I don't think you should put your expectations on somebody else.
But some people sign on that dotted line not knowing they self.
Anyway,
They
Yeah,
don't even know
but-
they self.
But
So-
here's the thing though. Like at that point, you sign on that dotted line. I have my expectations. You know my expectations. I can now hold you accountable.
Okay. Well,
And that's also too, when you go into an agreement with someone, you as the individual and you as the leader of yourself and whatever you have that you are leading has to understand, what am I getting into? Does the person really have the capacity to give what I'm asking for?
right.
Because when I chose my wife, people always say, why it take you 8 years? Because there were a lot of things that I had to check off my list before I knew I was going to give her the rest of my life.
Right. And that came with you holding yourself accountable.
And then it was about me being able to be held accountable, right? Because it's like the Mike Tyson said, everybody has a game plan till you get punched in the face. Everybody wants to be held accountable until it's time to be held accountable. To be honest, that's the truth. Or I need an accountability partner, or I want a wife, or I want a husband. But guess what? On Friday nights, when you normally go out by yourself and your homies, you ain't got nobody to explain it to. All of a sudden now you tight because the person that you are now being held accountable to are asking you where you're going, who you're going to be with, what time you coming home. Now you tight.
And guess what that's called though? Love. That's called love too. Boundaries is love, man. That little boy crossing the street, you're not just gonna let him willy-nilly do anything. You're gonna come here. Set a boundary for him. Yo, you can get hurt doing that.
Right.
That's love, man. People got this misconstrued, and it's a whole nother topic. I don't know but I mean,
talk about it.
People got this whole twisted thing about love. Yo, they got a whole twisted thing about love that is just, if you love me, you'll let me do whatever I want and just trust me.
Nonsense.
No, love is boundaries, man. Love is setting the tone. Like, yo, I don't like when you do this, this, and this, and they come with expectations and they come with capacity. Like all this is like chain linked together. Like, it all ties into each other.
Bro, this is what this is what we should be talking about, especially to our young men, before we even let them go into the world of dating, or let them even finding out what it's like to even start having conversations with women. Because, bro, if we don't start teaching this part of it, bro, we're gonna have another generation of us going out here, not us right now, but the younger versions of us. Let's think about that for a second. We're gonna have a repeated version of the younger versions of us.
Bro, I think we are kind of already seeing it. Like we see some of the, like I've been seeing some of the most horrendous arrests. Like, why are you even being arrested for this, bro?
Right.
We knew better. Like, why, bro? Like, why are you in jail for this simple thing, bro?
Crazy.
Like,
honestly,
it's your capacity, bro. I don't know who you got to go to. I know God gives some a talent, some two, some three, or whatever. But I don't know what happened to yours, bro. Did you bury it?
Yo, niggas wasn't on that line.
Nah.
When God was giving out that stretch capacity.
Yeah.
it was on the other line.
Yeah.
Boy, like, what happened, bro?
Yeah, but think about this too, man. We have so many frustrating days, and this goes to us. Because once you know something, you can't unknow it, right? The same way you don't know what you don't know, once you know something, you can't unknow it. So it goes to us, we say to ourselves, why am I having an argument with this person? Now we can start applying this to real game situations, right? Yeah. Why am I arguing with this person when clearly they don't have the capacity to just even see what I'm saying? Think about this for a second. For a person not to be able to see what you're saying, more or less understand it. We're not asking them to understand it. We're asking them to comprehend what you're saying. And if they can't do that, why are you sitting there in the conversation and our blood pressure going higher? Then we're so aggravated that we then come home and we bark and we bleed on the people that actually love us and don't want to. They have the capacity to understand how far we need to be loved, right? They have the understanding of what we actually need. But guess what? We're so frazzled. We're so annoyed with the size of the bucket, right?
Right.
Now who's the
Yeah,
dummy?
we just
Right?
spill water
Who's the dummy?
everywhere.
We keep pouring it in there, just pouring it out.
Spilling everywhere, and we
Word,
mad that
the
it's
water's
spilling
everywhere. We
We
get
just
mad at the
mad.
bucket. Like, you stupid bucket.
Right.
It's my word. This bucket is stupid.
You know, the biggest problem with
You
that.
can't understand what I'm saying to you. Like, hold this water, you dumbass bucket.
Right.
Here's the thing, though.
Mad 'cause there's a mess.
We're left with the mess to clean up.
Right.
Yup. Get the mop.
We're left with the mess to clean up, bro.
You ain't lying.
I thank God that I think I've reached this age, and I've probably told you guys that I think I've aged to the point I got here in life a little too early. You know how older folks, when they just don't care,
Right.
like literally what you think of them, they just don't care because they already know who they are. I think I might have gotten to that point in life a little too early. But like I said in the green room, like I've reached that. Probably I've been saying this for years. If I tell you the sky is blue, and you argue with me and you tell me the sky is purple, I take you outside. I look up and I say, sky is blue. You tell me it's purple. From then on, I promise you the sky is purple. Whenever I'm speaking to you, the sky is purple. Now we're both on the same level playing field.
Ain't no frustration on your part at all, because you understand the capacity of this individual only has it up enough to tell me the sky is purple.
Right.
Somebody else walking by, they'd be like, in the middle of our conversation, be like, what y'all talking about? The sky is blue. Nah, bro, it's purple.
Right.
Right.
Between me and my homie over here, like, it's purple rain, purple skies
You
over
hear
here,
me?
baby.
You understand me? Prince is all in this thing. Like,
Yup.
Yo, but now this gives us a space to even love harder, fellas, because this is what it gives you room for in your heart. Because now, guess what? You're not gonna look at someone, and also too, I preach about this all the time, and I'm gonna say it again: the 4 Agreements, yo, the book. Go read it; it'll change your life. Because in this book, it expresses that everyone shows up how they are in life because of what they've been through.
Right.
You only show up, right? You can't show up with an experience of being mugged if you've never been mugged, right? You can't have an experience of, I've been raped and had my innocence taken from me if you've never gone through that. You can't show up with an experience you never had. So that also gives you an understanding of a person. So if this person is showing up to me like this, yo, something happened to him. Because think about it, we're all created the same way from the same being. So if you're coming up against me with this weird energy that I can see clearly, it's like, yo, hold on.
Yeah. Something
like
is up.
I can love you for where you're at. Right? I could say, you know what, family? You right, fam. Like, I ain't tripping.
Straight up.
Because I know now within me, yo, this is where you at right now. And it's okay to be there. Like, because the part of us the part of me that I let go to is the judgment factor.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what your capacity is. If you only got enough to put in this bottle right here, I'm not judging the size of your bottle, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I praise God that you got enough in that bottle
to sustain yourself. Yeah.
Because I'm no longer judging someone's capacity. And I think that's what helped me actually love my stepfather even more. That helped me love people who I was holding super grudges against. It's like, yo, the only reason you did that to me is because somebody probably did that to you.
Right.
I mean, let me ask you this, Dave, though. What do you see as like your biggest hurdle when it comes with your mom, bro?
The fact that you try to help her the best you can, and she just won't let you help her the way that it's supposed to. She wants it done her way, and it don't work. Yeah, and it don't work. You know,
So
and that's kind of the hardest part.
Are your expectations of her higher than what they should be right now? And then that's
At
the
this
reason why
point,
you.
at this point, because when you start dealing with older folk at this age, what happens is that I have to learn to. It's not an expectation that I have of her because I know her limit and I know the size of her bowl already. Now the problem is that when you try to, it's not
In
even
game.
that try to help. It's not the end game right now. That's where I'm at right now with her because it's like she probably, Lord willing, she's fine and she goes, but she's 80. She's 80. You know what I mean? And a person at 80 years old needs help and assistance.
Right.
There's just no way around that. And now you have an 80-year-old trying to control the whole picture, saying that she doesn't need help.
Yeah,
Yet that is not the case.
that's a different.
So it's like that
that's a
becomes real
different story.
difficult.
It
It
does.
becomes so hard. So it's like I've had to learn that I have to kind of be a little ruthless, but I have to take the emotion out of it, and that's the hard part for me because there's certain things that it's gonna be like this. I'm sorry, lady. End the conversation. I'm not gonna keep. You know what I mean?
And it has to be
There's
hard
so
as a
much that
son to a mom like that. Like that's the truth. That's tough.
and you don't want to talk to your mother like that because you know damn well when she was good in the mind and out here on these streets, making sure you was fed, making sure you was
Taking
clothed.
care of
You know damn well you wouldn't talking to her. You would not talk to her
Tighten
like
your
that.
ass right up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you grow up respecting your mother, especially if your mom raised you. Because I was raised by my mom, single mom. You know what I mean? I was raised by my mom, so I'm a mama's boy. But now I'm catching myself in a position where I have to be mean to her at times because it's like a simple it's to the point where I can legally take over her, or I can ask her to just legally allow me to help you. And it's like I'm damned if I do and if I'm damned if I don't, because if I completely strong arm it, she's sane enough to resent me for it. Versus if I ask her, Mom, just let me help you.
How many times did she do that to you though, growing up as a parent? You gotta think about
this. Ready to say, God chasing them he loves.
I'm doing the same thing with my kids right now. And you do it to your kids all the time. They resent you regularly. You don't even know it. But it's because it's because what Jerv said earlier. It's the love, which we only call love when it's sweet with flowers and roses.
Right.
But the love that is real is the boundaries.
Right.
The love that's real is those tough conversations. It's those ones where you have no other choice.
You know what it is,
and it's tough when
as well. Is I think with this word boundaries has this negative connotation.
Right. And that's exactly what it is.
And when we hear boundaries, we're thinking limitations. And I actually just heard a preacher say this. It was like, love is boundaries, bro.
Right. Right. Like
because I love you, I'm telling you, don't go beyond this point because outside of this point is bad.
Okay? A lot of things gonna go wrong.
What I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, hey,
I want you in
when
my
you
life.
want to say, you know what I'm saying? Like if and I'm gonna come from me. If you want to speak to me about something that I've done with you, you have to come a certain type of way. Don't allow it to build up and then come to me and mention it or bring it up and when we have a disagreement. I'm trying to tell you right now, that's not the place for it. It's not the time to come. It's not. Because I'm from it, wherever being in me, and it's something that I have to work on. I know I'm not going to receive it. But if I do something right then and there, be like, oh, you know what? I didn't like that. I'd be like, you know what? I won't do it again. Or if not necessarily I won't do it again, but I will try not to do it again. Wow. Because more than likely I didn't do it on purpose to begin with. So it's a learned behavior that I have that I'm going to have to unlearn for you. But I'm willing to do it.
It's a conscious
but
behavior.
Just don't bring it up in the argument.
Right. And for example,
ladies, I heard that, ladies.
Right.
Don't bring it up in the middle of the conversation, in the middle of an argument. Don't bring it up then.
Word.
I ain't all the way there.
And that's like if your wife was about to leave out the house.
Still working.
If your wife was about to leave out the house with a bikini on, you're not gonna let your wife leave out the house like that because you love her. That just don't even make no sense. Like you gonna tell her, yo, Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Get back in the crib, to say the least right now.
Yeah.
Get back in the crib and put some clothes on. Like, I don't love you that much to be letting you out here running around with no, like, come on, man.
Nah,
That's
but like,
crazy, dog.
we gotta really sit down, and I guess that could be the next episode. What is love, yo? Like, what is love?
We can do it.
Because seriously, when you sit here and we sit here and talk about boundaries and all those things, it's like love is not as sweet as everybody think it is.
It really is not, man.
Word. Love is not, because and then like love, like it's love is a weird thing, because love is not as sweet as you think it is, but love also is not designed to hurt, right? Like
right.
love is
love hurts.
No, but
hurts
love is not
because love
designed
is an
to hurt.
emotion.
Love is not.
Why not? It's an emotion.
Because even every emotion is not designed to hurt you.
Nah,
Yeah, but it's an emotion, and an emotion is uncertain.
Well, no,
that's a very true statement.
Yeah,
but love is not the very essence of love is not designed for you to hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go down to the very gist of it, it's really not. People who say they love and do something different than love, then cause you hurt. The only thing I could think of that love will hurt that's beyond that person is in death.
Illness, tragedy.
But though,
it's an emotion. It's gonna change. Love is gonna come in so many different forms. Anger,
happiness, even in tragedy. But think about this though. When you said tragedy, though, like love doesn't transform because of tragedy. Like love is still love. Like so.
Right, but due to tragedy, it's gonna bring you pain, because tragedy ended some kind of love. So it's gonna bring you pain.
But what I'm saying is love is not designed to hurt. Right? Love is not. People talk about, well, love hurts. No, because I love my wife. Now, what hurts sometimes is when we have to have tough conversations. That doesn't feel good, right? It's not a good emotion when we have to say things to each other that we don't want to say. It doesn't feel good. But the design of love is the combination of us two coming together to deal with it, so we can get past it and move forward in a position of grace and love for the both of us. So the design of love, the design of love is prosperous. Okay, be good, baby.
Hey, y'all, I love y'all.
All right, bro.
My boys, be easy, finish it out, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
definitely talk.
KB, we miss you.
Hey, bro, I appreciate y'all. I got to go and take care of this obligation.
Go solidify the bag, King.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Imperfect fathers.
You know what I'm saying? It's a great opportunity too, because the dude I'm playing for is actually opening up for Carl Thomas. So,
Nice.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like to get to be in the room with us. We're celebrating 100 Black women who's in excellence working and all that good stuff. So it's like basically a day where they're being catered to and all that good stuff. So
that's what's
I'm
up.
about to go.
Okay, that's what's up.
Your thing.
You know what I'm saying?
You okay? You going to be a simp for a little bit? You going to simp for a little bit?
Hey, I'm gonna be out here exactly what they want me to be like. You know
Go ahead, put that simp on a little bit.
Listen, I'm feeling my representative.
Give all the AdSense money. Go give all that YouTube money away, baby.
Word.
How we say it? I'm sending my representative. Like,
yeah.
No, my authentic stuff ain't gonna be there. Like, ain't even gonna hold you. Look at
the real king ain't gonna pull up.
Ain't gonna happen, Jack.
Yo, be good, man.
Hold it down.
Yeah, boys, be easy, bro. Love y'all,
brother.
Peace. Love you too, King. Yo, man.
Yeah.
But I think that we should really dive into that next week, fellas. I think we should really because love itself is tough, bro. It's a tough definition, because when you love someone, you have to do things sometimes you don't want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
With grace. That's the tough. And I've been talking to y'all for this for a while, and especially Jerb been trying to help me with this for a while, because he know I have a problem with the grace part. And I hate that I'm like that, but
but hold on. I want to stop you too earlier, D, because the way you said it earlier, we got to change the definition of it. So because when you say you have to be mean to your mom. You're not being mean. I've been on the phone, bro. You're stern, and
Right.
you don't like being stern with your mom.
Yeah.
See, it's a difference. If and this is what I was telling you earlier, bro. You couldn't be my man if you was violating your mother. On my soul, Dave. If you was violating your mother, we gotta see each other. Like, I don't rock with men that violate their mom, bro. And I've been on the phone with you while you talk to your mother in certain ways. It's like, yo, it hurts you because you have to tell her this in this manner. You're not being mean to her. It's the love that you have to now show her in this way that you're not comfortable with.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that
Because-
goes
Very
with,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
It's uncomfortable, bro.
And that goes with really what I think the definition of love is love is God. And God is the word. So in that word, you got to find love in that word. So when he say he having trouble dealing with his mom, you got to go to the book and say, okay, how do I deal with this? Okay, it says, love your mother, you know what I mean, as you love me. Like,
Word.
in fact, God give you a guaranteed long life if you love your
Facts.
parents.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So love is in the book. The book is love, and the book is God, and God is the word. Like, so whatever you got going on in your life or whatever, and you feel as though it's troubling me, go to the book, because every situation is in the book. It's nothing that's the manual right there. So go to the book and you figure out how to distribute your love. Like, you know what I mean? So when we start doing our own little thing with love, it start getting distorted and real saturated and real, it ain't concentrated no more. You know what I mean? But if we stick to really what love is, like, nobody would have a problem with nothing that they got going on. Like, everything is in that book, man. That's love. The book is love. The book is boundaries. The book is telling you to do things that you really don't want to do. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? That's love. Like, it's trying to keep you safe, dog. Like,
and to be honest, it's not like we don't, and we gotta, if we're gonna get it even deeper than that, it ain't that we don't want to do it. It's the battle, bro.
right.
It's the battle between your spirit and your flesh. So it's
right,
like the flesh want to do one thing and the spirit want to do the other.
Yeah.
And like, this is what people don't understand. Like, yo, you know how people go crazy, bro? Because of the war that's happening up there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a war going on every single hour of the day between your spirit man and your flesh man. And the crazy part is, when you have the capacity and the understanding of these things, you're able to fight. It's like fighting somebody you can't see. You'll get your ass whipped.
Right.
Imagine that. Like, imagine sitting having to box somebody, a boxer that you can't see.
And it's like that. That's exactly what it feels like. Sometimes you think you got under control and you just get blindsided.
Word.
Yeah.
And think about this. What happens when you now have the vision? Like, oh, I can see you now.
Right.
Oh, I could.
Now I can fight back. Like,
you understand what I'm saying? Like, now, because I can see what I'm going against. And this is the thing. If someone doesn't have the capacity to see it, like, that's between them and God at that space. Because we're not God. We can't bring them up. That's not our duty. And I think that we get frustrated, especially when the people we love the most, right? The people we love the most, it frustrates us because it's like, yo, I'm telling you, come, yo, I got, like, your mom,
doing
I got
everything
this.
you can do. Yeah.
I got
like,
this.
Mom, I'm not gonna do wrong by you. I got this. But the capacity is like, yo, I can only see this for what it is, and I've only been hit. So now, with your love, says, I see where you at, Mom. Guess what? I see where you at. We're gonna do things like this because this is how things need to get done.
Exactly.
But guess what? I love you, Mom.
That's all it is, man. And you can live with yourself. When you do stuff like that, you can live with yourself, say, yo, I did everything I could, man.
Right.
Like, I didn't hold back. I didn't pacify nothing. I didn't use nothing as a crutch. Like, I did everything I could, regardless of what. I showed her love. Like, you know what I mean? I tried to show her the same way.
That's really like what kind of lets me know, like, damn, you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? I got her stuff checked out. I got her doctor. I got, whatever the case may be. I got her surgery done. I got her thing completed. And at the end of the day, it's like, damn, there was some success at it being so stern.
Right.
Just you're just not used to, and I thought when I was older, like, like, oh, you could just, everybody's an adult, you could just still talk to everybody like how you want to, like, and still at the end of the day, now I'm an adult, and it's like I don't like taking that tone with my mother.
Right.
I
You
really
don't want
don't.
to.
And I get it that we all adults, but like, damn, I really don't like talking to her like that. I really
Right.
don't.
Yeah, but now
just
she's
like,
your equal now. I mean, I know you still feel like that, but y'all are equal now. When you were kids, she was just like you. And
to
I
be
think in the
honest, at this
Bible it
stage of
says
the
something
game,
like
you're
that.
not equals now. To be
Yeah.
honest, you're her caretaker, D. Like,
Well,
this
yeah.
this is the design of life, bro. When we come into the world, we're designed to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
When we leave this world, it's designed for us to have to be taken care of. So who takes care of the person who took care of you? You.
Mm-hmm.
So as you come into this world as a child, you're gonna leave as a child. Think about that. When you come in this world, you wearing Pampers. Most likely, when you leave this world, you're gonna be wearing the Pampers.
Right.
And the truth is, we have to understand that leadership comes with prices. Leadership comes with having to tell some people some hard stuff, including our peoples, our moms, our fathers, our wives, our children. That's the way to leadership. But how we walk through it, though, with the grace of understanding and understanding your heart. And this is what I was telling Dave before, bro. Like, your heart is too pure. You don't have the heart of malice to your mother. So anything you say to her or directed to her, it has to be out of love for the betterment of her. So yeah, you might have to say it in a way you're not comfortable with saying it, but you still have to say it, because if you didn't say it, you wouldn't love her.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that's the price that comes with being a man. This is the price that comes with leadership.
Yep.
And it's like, this is like the hardest part, because it's like when you deal, like, because everybody just think, oh, relationships, my partner, my spouse, and it's like, nah, you, like, a lot of these rules apply to all relationships.
Right.
It's just like, I don't think people realize how important all relationships are, not just your love relationship,
right,
or
platonic,
your life relationship, but
romantic,
like, yo,
absolutely,
like people that you deal with, like, you know what I mean, places where you are, like, you have to keep sustainable relationships, because if
healthy
not,
relationship,
that you're gonna and they don't all have to be healthy, man. Some of them, because some of these people, you're not giving them that much time. You know what I mean? Some of these people, you're really not giving them as much time. Sometimes you just go to work, you work with somebody. Sometimes people, it transcends throughout work, all through life. You know what I mean? So other people, it's just a certain amount of time you got to deal with. So it's like, you got to figure out, like, man, like, everything that you do at relationships is gonna get you better. You know what I mean? But this is the hard part. Like, I'm understanding my mother's capacity, and it's real hard what has to be done to execute any kind of success she's gonna have from here on out.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that's because of your love, though. Like that, I just wanted to stress it. Like, you feel the way you feel because of the love you have for your mama. Like, if you didn't love your mama, this wouldn't be a conversation. This wouldn't even be a topic. Like, we wouldn't even be having this conversation of no sort if you didn't have no love for your mother, because you wouldn't care about her capacity, right? Now, check this out. We about to get up out of here. But before I go, now, Jerv is the man of God on the platform, and I respect the man of God. So, Jerv, I'm gonna tell you this. This is my my warning. I'm gonna use some very profane language coming up currently. Okay. So if you want to leave the platform, I understand. But I gotta talk about what happened in Texas for 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
To any asshole out there in the world that you think is somehow in your fucking corrupt mind that it's okay to walk into a school building and open fire, yeah, I hope your soul burns in hell. Yo, there are 18 families that are no longer having Friday night pizza, Friday night dance class, Saturday afternoon playground time, after school events. There are 18 families that are not hugging and loving on the offspring that they created because someone decided it was okay to go into a school and open fire. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I spoke to a couple officers this weekend, and I asked them, what would be the protocol if I was to see someone going into a school building with an open-handed firearm? And the officer said to me this, and I'm saying this on the airwaves because the officer told me to spread this word. To every last man that's licensedly carrying a firearm, if you go past a school building and you see anything that's not right, a person walking in, driving erratic, doing anything near a school building, get on the phone, call 911. Then you get active. You follow, see what's going on. Yo, we have to get vigilant, y'all.
Yeah.
Yo, it's no reason why school buildings where our children are going to school at to learn are being chopped down by losers and lowlives, yo. And they're doing it in places where they really believe that there's no kind of repercussion for it.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is, and I don't even want to say it's a black thing or a hood thing, but you're not coming in the hood with it. There's certain places you're just not going to do stupid shit like that. And I know in the area that I live in right now currently, where 90% of us is strapped up, you're not coming around here doing that.
Mm-mm.
So what I would say to the rest of the fellas out there and anybody who's legally carrying, the officer told me this. If you see it, get on the phone with the dispatch. And if it gets crazy, handle your business. Whatever that may take. But your job is to make sure that there's no children being harmed. And I can promise y'all this. If I'm ever in my car going past the school and I catch anything, I'm surgical with my hammer. In the distance.
Right.
I'm gonna pop your melon completely off your top. Because every child on this earth is my child. And I can promise you, if I ever, I'm gonna have fun with your spirit until it's no longer here. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to say that because, yo, I can't imagine, y'all. I can't imagine getting that fucking phone call.
Oh man.
No one wants to.
My heart goes out to every family out there, man.
Yes.
I apologize that I had to be that graphic and I had to go that route, but I just want y'all to understand how serious I am about this.
You good. I'm out on that note.
Yo, listen, fellas. Fathers, to the world, you're just a dad. But to your family, you're the world. Don't forget that. And until the next time we see you, be good to yourself and the ones around you. Key in on the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones that are around you, get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. This has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will.
Hit that like button. Subscribe too.
Do that right now.